What's good? This is Marcus the Fingers. Hopefully you can hear me. Going live. I just finished watching the stream of the award ceremony for our daughter, Kamari, who is out in Vegas with her mom right now. She has come home with a scholarship. I will get into that shortly. Before we get into that, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, to this podcast. I'm going to tie in award ceremony versus sync licensing. What I was, a surprising fact that I wasn't thinking about when I started streaming this because I was only watching to see our daughter, but what I ended up learning while watching this almost 4 hour award ceremony. Before we get into that, be sure to check out the description. Also, this podcast is sponsored by ASTS, the great team over there that makes great sounds for music creators like me and you. And also check out my website. You can sign up for a consult if you want to discuss music business, networking. You want to check out some of the courses and sample packs I have. The day that I am posting this, this is live right now, I will be, today's the last day to use the code July 4 for a discount on all sample packs and courses on the site. So use that up. And yeah, I have some more stuff coming, some more courses and sample packs on the way. So stay tuned for that. So let's get into it. I'm going to play this segment. This is when our daughter was on stage. She was recognized for an award. She was in another category. Unfortunately, she didn't win in that category at the championship level. She did win the regional level that got her to the championships out in Vegas. But she didn't win the short story category, even though she got really, really great remarks and great response from the judges. We thought she had a chance of winning or at least placing. It didn't fall that way this time, but she got some great feedback and we'll continue moving forward in that endeavor. But I'm going to play this segment of the award she did win, and I will point her out when you see her on stage. I'm going to try to fast forward, and maybe I'll turn this down a little bit. So she was up for the Lancome Scholarship also, which awards 40 women, young girls, $10,000, and she was one of those recipients. I'm going to just jump to the part where she was on stage because that's the part where the proud dad is. So you see the 40 recipients coming up on the stage here. And there she is, right. I'm gonna wait till she's in the middle, almost right up. That's a bad stop. But she is right here in the green. We're gonna rewind that a little bit with the glasses. So again, they pan through the 40 women on the stage. It looks weird with my face down here, but our daughter is right here in the green with her glasses on. So we are definitely proud of her for winning this scholarship and also for making it all the way with her short story. And we will continue to support her in that endeavor. I'm going to leave it on this screen here. This is a great program to cultivate African-American arts, African-American youth in the arts programs. And they do an annual championship award ceremony. This year it was in Vegas. So glad to be a part, and we hope to get more of our family and friends and community involved. So what I want to share, and I have some notes here, is how celebrating this and watching this ceremony, how I was starting to see how this tied into sync licensing. First, when I was watching the ceremony, there are different segments. And of course, when you watch all kinds of awards, the Grammys, Emmys, whatever, there are different segments where they have musical cues play throughout the program. So I was seeing that here. They did have a live band on stage. That was the stage band, the live band for the acts that were singing. They had different performances and things. But as they were announcing each awards and the awardees, the recipients and things, and the contestants, they had different cues playing in the background. And that's where us as music creators can sort of start to chime in, start to take notes, start to take those mental notes of what's being played during those segments. And I was hearing hip hop, I was hearing rock, I was hearing some like R&B stuff, all kinds of different sounds. You start to take note of, hey, there were probably in this award ceremony, I wasn't counting, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were over 100 different cues throughout the whole program, if not more. I did say over. And then on the networking side, when you go to events, like if I were there, there was a music director there. So I would, of course, have loved to connect with him. And I did connect with a lot of people that as I was hearing their names on social media, LinkedIn, trying to follow them and send them messages on the spot. There was a composer on stage. There was a category for music composition and vocal performance and things like that. So there were musicians on stage who, if I were there, I could network with them, but I also reached out to them online. So you can use these as ways to network, to break the ice. Like, hey, I saw you at the program. I saw you on stage at this event. I would love to have a discussion with you about music, about sync, about whatever music business, performing, music direction, being a director of music. And of course, one thing about sync, diversifying your portfolio if you can. There are some people that can really focus down in one lane. As I mentioned in previous episodes, there's someone who all they do is Halloween or scary type music. That's all they do. They don't do any other type music, and they have a huge catalog of that, and that gives them a lot of money every year. So more power to them. But in this example, our daughter entered a couple of categories here at the state level, regional level, the level here that got her to the nationals. She entered a couple categories. She placed in all the categories she entered, but she placed the gold medal, the top for the short story. That's what got her to Vegas. So if she only submitted to like one of those other categories that she didn't get the gold medal in, she would not be in Vegas right now. So luckily, she was able to use one of those categories. We had some other participants who participated in multiple categories, and they made it to Vegas as well. There were other participants from our area who were on stage, even though they didn't win. And shout out to all of our participants from this level. We had my daughter Kamari, we had Kennedy, and we also had Eugene from our area who made it all the way to nationals with their performances. So congratulations to all of them. Definitely proud of all of them, and looking forward to what they bring to the entertainment industry, their industries in the future. So having them be in different, some of them were in different categories, multiple categories, they were able to diversify and have a better chance of winning or placing at least to get to Vegas. And then when they got to Vegas, if they were in multiple categories, having opportunities to win. For example, our daughter didn't win the scholarship that she was up for her category, but she did win the other scholarship that I just showed you. That was a separate scholarship that she applied for, and she was one of the 40, and she was able to go up on stage. We had another singer who was also on stage. She did the final, she sang during the final performance of the awards show. So having those different opportunities and then being out there, meeting your potential future collaborators, potential business partners, potential mentors. You never know what you can get from these experiences. I haven't personally, actually, I have been to an award show live. I went to the was it an award show? I think it was an award show. I went to Full Sail Hall of Fame 2 years ago, and I think it was an award show there. It was definitely the induction ceremony for the new Hall of Fame. So when you go to these events, it's just really, you're there, of course, to have fun, but what else can you do? Can you network while you're there? Especially if you're spending money to get to, if it's far away, if it's not like in your home state or home area, but at least you're spending money on gas and hotels and flights and food and everything. So make sure you figure out how to make the best of it. And I talk about networking. I do have a networking course on my site. You can go to my site, check out the networking webinar, use the code July4 today for a discount on that to check that out. And you can see sort of more of my insights into networking. And then for me, it's of course also striking that balance between family and music. It's actually not a balance. There's more integration between family, work, and music, because I do work full time also, as I mentioned, and just balancing that with a career in music production. While I was watching the ceremony, again, taking notes, I'm also working on some cues for some opportunities that I got this week, and I'm probably going to be up all night working on those, trying to finish those up. And I've been just making music all weekend while they're out. I do have our son here, our son and dog, so just spending time with them, staying at home with them. But there are ways to integrate what our passion is with family life and things like that. And then, of course, you also want to strike the balance and make sure that you can do what you can. So in this case, my wife went with our daughter out to Vegas because if I was out there in Vegas, I definitely would have been at the ceremony, but I also have a lot of musical connections out there. So I might make it back out there before the end of the year. All right, so for you music creators out there that are involved in sync and trailer music, a good way to get more opportunities is to figure out how to diversify your musical portfolio. For me, I do try to focus on the epic cinematic and trailerization stuff, but that is not as lucrative yet for me. I am doing projects here off and on. It's going to take me a couple of years probably to build that out. I'm getting placements here and there, but nothing consistent as much as the sync stuff. So the sync stuff with trailer stuff, it takes me a couple of days to do a track. But of course, if I focus on that and only do trailers, I'd have to stop everything else, which I could do. And then I also do the sync stuff. So that is, I might do a sync album for a sync library or trailer or music production library where they want, piano and strings, or they want like string music, or they want hip hop. Right now I'm working on some hip hop stuff. Right now we're in sort of the basketball season, football season, creating cues for the next season of basketball and football. So there's that coming up. So if you are making those like high energy hip hop, I'm seeing some requests for drill also to be used in the next couple season or next season of sports. So start to build up your catalog of those instrumentals and get those together for some of the libraries. And having that diversified portfolio, of course, like I said, I could just do all piano music and just focus on that, and that's all I do. But I enjoy the challenge, especially if I get stuck doing something in one lane. If I get stuck on the epic hip hop or energetic hip hop, I can jump over to the trailer music or just piano. In fact, if you go to my Facebook group, which is also linked below in the description, last night about midnight, and I'll probably leave it up for a few more hours, maybe I'll cut it out bring it down at midnight tonight. I was up for 2 hours and doing like a music, showing music I was working on. I played a epic pop, sort of epic cinematic pop track that I was finishing up, and then I played a cue that I'm working on for an independent film, or I created a cue for an independent film, like just that took about an hour, start to finish. And there was someone there giving me some great suggestions who also runs another library. His name is Andrew. He has a library called Cinematic Alpha, and he was very supportive even after he sent me some messages to support me in my journey. So I definitely appreciate that. Andrew Fly from Cinematic Alpha. Check out their plugins too. Cinematic has some great pads and sounds for us to use. So shout out to Cinematic Alpha. So if you want to just check out like a 2-hour masterclass of me creating music, showing a project that I'm working on, epic cinematic pop, how I go about, check out the Facebook group. It's called Syncrets To Success, the exact name of this podcast, Syncrets To Success. And check out the Facebook group. It's linked below. Look for that post. Like I said, at the time of this live, it is on there. I don't know if it'll be on there forever, but we'll see. I might leave it up. But yeah, that's about it. Just really proud of our daughter, proud of all the participants that represented our area well. Again, Kennedy and Eugene, but definitely proud of our daughter, Kamari, for going out there, putting herself out there. I don't know if it's in her genes or what. The writing is definitely from her mom, and the networking, I don't know if that's from me, but she just going out there and, going for the gold, taking the stage. And it's crazy because they're out in Vegas for her. The last couple times we were out in Vegas for her. We were out in Vegas. The pandemic, we went to Vegas like 3, 4, 5 times. I know you might have seen the Usher story that I posted, connecting with his team while we were out there almost, 3 years ago. And then seeing him perform, 2 or 3 times, going to Vegas, back to back, and then going with family. My sister, my brother, in-law proposed to my sister-in-law, but brother proposed to my sister out there while we were in Vegas during one trip. So a lot of memories out there, of course, and then being able to go and experience Vegas with my wife and kids a couple times over the last year. So Vegas does definitely have a special place, and making connections out there. I have a great friend who actually have a couple friends out there, but one of them was made the plugin Glaze for Native Instruments in Glaze 2. He's a big engineer and vocal producer and producer from Something for the People. He works with Ariana Grande, Sana Rele, a lot of great singers. I know another person who is an audio engineer who runs a studio out there, and they're also a studio at one of the big studios. I won't say where. But yeah, so a lot of connections in Vegas. So definitely enjoy just having any touch points out there on the West Coast. If I can make it make sense, probably would enjoy moving out there or having some time out there musically, if I could focus on that full time, Vegas and California. But I'm going on a rant right now. Congratulations to our daughter for her achievement. This she probably doesn't realize, but of course, us as the parents are trying to help her realize that this is definitely a major milestone and step in her career and personal growth, and her writing. So the feedback that she got, my wife was trying to tell me that it was really, really powerful feedback, and I don't think that she was realizing what they were saying, how powerful her writing was. So yeah, if you want, drop in the comments here. I think this will be on LinkedIn. I'm going to leave this up on LinkedIn and YouTube, but this is part of the YouTube podcast. Drop your comments on, share your story. Is there something that was very impactful for your career? Would love to read about that. And was there something that has helped you for your growth and networking? Doesn't matter what age you are. What's great about AXO is that it does catch them at young ages. And I made a post earlier where you saw some of the alumni from AXO, including Lauren Hill, Anthony Anderson. There were 2 hosts who were alumni, so it was an incredible program. The performances, the show the bar was high, and just celebrating African American culture, music, poetry, culinary arts. I mean, there's so many categories, dance, writing, of course. So there's so many opportunities and categories. So if you're not involved, see if you can get involved with your local NAACP chapter to find out about AXO. Get your youth involved, African American, with the emphasis on African American youth, getting them involved for programs. I don't know the exact age limit to apply and be in these categories for next year. I think it might be maybe 10th through 12th grade, but it might even go a little younger. So definitely check that out if you can. All right, I'm gonna end this episode. Just wanted to share some insights while it was fresh on my mind, just to get that content out there also. But these award ceremonies can be a great reference point for us as music creators to see what music is being used during those interstitials, during those breaks, during those those awards being announced, things like that. We can use that as a bar for our music creative process. And finally, one more time, congratulations to our daughter. Have a great, if you're watching this, my camera's going blurry. Have a great, enjoy the rest of the weekend. And I will see you in the next episode. I might do a couple episodes over the next few days because I have some more content that I want to share, some more thoughts and things on some other things. So stay tuned for more episodes coming. Thank you for checking out this podcast. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, the Syncrets To Success podcast. Check out the links in the description, including the sale that I have right now, summer sale on the site. Use the code July4 for discount, 40% off any sample packs or courses. Join the Facebook group. Check out some resources I use for sync, including Disco, including an AI that I use to bounce my stems in Logic. You can find all of that in the description below. Some links will be affiliate links at no extra charge to you, but it does give me a little bit of gas money or something to get to where I need to go next. Be safe and be well, everyone. All right, let me figure out this. All right, peace.